Welcome back to the late day wrap up. Yeah, that's it. All right, well, welcome back, and we got plenty to talk about today, following up on the short-term timeframes for DXY, for gold, for traditional market major indices, and then we'll go over actually Bitcoin and Ethereum, seeing as there's big focus on them in the morning's video. So with that said, as always, wish you the best, and let's fucking stutter all over the place. How about that? What I'm trying to say is let's not try to waste any time, as this is supposed to be kind of bang bang. If you want the more in-depth analysis, go to this morning's video, as that is going to be, well, more relevant for that. Anyways, with that said, we'll start off with DXY. What does DXY look like? Getting that pullback that we spoke about yesterday, and still playing within the same region overall. Of course, I am not really looking at this as anything too greatly out of the ordinary, and massively damn it right there, because I am on my wrong chart. Let's go to my Forex DXY over here. There we go. And this is what I wanted to show with all of the ranges on the low, still playing between about 91 bucks and about 89 3/4 to the downside on weekly closures. As long as it's also in between that region, I don't really have any major calls to be made on it. I still look at this as likely to bottom out within this region. However, also likely to take some time, as we do see all major macro reversals in the past have taken, well, I mean, you can count this out yourself, but I do believe it's about 14 or 15 weeks right here. I'll just count it out really quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and reversal on the 15th. So fair enough. That's about 3 months right there. And technically speaking, we've only seen about 1, 2, 3, 4, working on week number 5 right now. And just for historical sakes, what are the other lows looking like as well? Well, very similar action right around here, about a little bit more than 3 months. And this one over here, a little bit more than 3 months as well. So those are your last two macro lows. And you can go back way the fuck into, well, I guess the one prior to that wasn't too long ago before that one, 05, early 05, that is. Another 3-month long reversal right there on the macro low. And then, of course, this one right in over here, same thing. So it does have a history of doing something like that. And while I do look for this area to very likely bounce it up, just by, the nature of it being right around the last prior macro low, regardless of whether I'm bullish or bearish on that, I would be looking for a bounce between this region, and still looking at somewhere, anywhere around 92 bucks would be fine overall. And then if things can get back above that level, then maybe we can talk about a greater reversal. But for right now, sideways is the name of the game, and then maybe over the next couple months, I would be looking for an upside move. So with that said, with DXY coming down, you would be expecting that all major assets trading against it, like DXY, or sorry, not like DXY, like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like your golds, like whatever fucking pet stock that you like as well, would be going up as they trade against the dollar. Well, no, that's actually not what we see right now in cryptocurrency, and I haven't checked on traditional just yet, but actually it's very much bullish still, so fair enough. Yeah, it's helping out the traditional market now, not bad. So where does the narrative go if the whole dollar printing is supposed to help out Bitcoin, or that's the biggest thing? Well, who gives a fuck? How about that? Anyways, looking at this right here, I probably would be looking for a short-term bounce based upon this level, but ultimately, I'll be looking for it to come down more and more over time. Probably put in another low somewhere around 89 3/4, and then give another bounce around this region. Again, I'm looking for this to just trade sideways, and seeing as we just test the top side of the range, I'll be looking for testing the bottom side of the range. Okay, moving on to Nasdaq. We are seeing further continuation, or actually, no, we're not seeing further continuation. It looks like we already saw further continuation, and now we are seeing a move back onto the downside. Actually, let me reference my chart over here, because I think that's where all my pretty chart features are. There we go. Okay, let's go to a daily for a second. Yeah, there we go. So you can say that we hit the 2.272. Close enough in this case. How hard did we get? About 1,400. I was saying, sorry, no, not 1,400. 13,400 is what I'm trying to say. So about 30 bucks shy of that target. I'd say close enough is close enough in this regard. And this is kind of your algo taking profit signature right here. Can it play all the way back down to the 2 spot at 13,150? Yeah, sure. But ultimately, I do still look for a little bit of upside on this one on a long period of time, especially as long as it just, holds above this level right here, just going level by level. Of course, your last higher low coming in all the way down around 12.8, so it is it's all good all the way down there, as crazy as it does sound, because it is quite the range. But yeah, short term probably does a little bit more downside. I'd say 13,250-ish region, then probably try a bounce right there. Moving on to SPY futures, what do we see? Very, 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 very similar chart right here. We do see it essentially hit the 2 spot 414, or actually no, more like the 2 spot 272. In this case, I'd be looking for consolidation between the 272 and the 414, and then probably does try another move to the upside after that. But short term, could it come back down to 38.20? Yeah, no problem, absolutely. But ultimately, I'd look for a trend continuation here over the long period of time. Still playing at that hidden bullish divergence from that 1, 2, 3, 4 stab, actually going all the way back to, Jesus Christ, man, this was back in November actually. Anyways, moving on to gold. Where's my gold at? There you are, gold. I see you 1860-ish region, getting that nice bounce that we spoke about last week. so this is so far so good. I do still treat this as a potential reversal point, especially with the way that this weekly is actually acting right now. In fact, it looks like we already hit our target at 1860-ish region. So what I would say is that while it is looking pretty damn good right here, to be fair, and it probably wouldn't be too wise of me to, I'd say that this one's very likely to test back up to about 1890 in the short-term timeframes. Technically speaking, I would like to see a closure above this level, 1860 by end of week, and then this would be, well, this would quite literally be a reversal on a weekly, and I'd be looking at extend that run up to about 1910 to 1930-ish region. But I mean, is it looking like it's going to do that? Yeah, it does. I'd at least wait for the daily right here. It looks good to me, and can have about an 1860 management point. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but well, I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyways, looking at that right there, yeah, I'd probably be looking for it to just crawl its way upwards and onwards. We're seeing daily Stokes pop back up. We're seeing daily RSI print hidden bullish divergence back above the exponential. Decent read over a long period of time here. Not anything too compelling, but decent at least for the short term. And if we go down to like the very short term time frames, is there anything to be aware of right here? Short term time frames could actually come down. I wouldn't mind another move back down to like 1840-ish region. You know what? Maybe in this case, referencing the lower term timeframes because they do look a little bit droopy there. Perhaps it would be a little more wise to actually wait for that closure, but fair enough. Does have it in progress here, and I imagine it wouldn't take too much longer to actually clarify that situation. Moving on to what do we have after that? Let's go look at Mr. Bureau right now. So it looks like we actually did. Looks like we're choosing the bearish route today. Fair enough on that one. As you know, I wasn't necessarily looking for it to happen, but hey, at the end of the day, that is why I do have these levels kind of set out right here. Did break below the last prior 4-hour low, which was 1270-ish region. To me, that's damaging enough. And while it did come down, actually not necessarily to my 1150 level just yet, it did take 1184. Close enough. Is that one close enough? No, I'd say this one probably does slink on a little bit further south. And then probably tries another bounce somewhere around 1150 to 1130-ish region, anywhere around the 21 right here, which is actually a little more close to that 1130 region, so about 1135, and I would be looking for another bounce around that region as well. Technically speaking, bearish divergence was confirmed, at least for myself, by taking out the last daily low, and that did offer up a nice little edge for potentially a $100 trade on a $1,000 number. Not bad, 10% move actually. Anyways, let's see, moving on to Bitcoin, where are you, Bitcoin? Where actually have you on? There it is, found him. Ha! All right, nice one. So we did see the 12-hour closure below that critical level of 33.5. Actually, in this case, 34,000 pretty much did it. Now I would be looking for, first and foremost, a bounce off the 200 simple and 200 exponential moving average, but because that actually has destroyed structure, and now we have really confirmed, a continuation of trend right here for the 12-hour reversal. We do have a high, low, lower high, low, this one being a higher low, this one being a lower high once again, and this one over here closing on lower lows. Obviously, that is our first downtrend on a 12-hour since December, right when Bitcoin was below 20,000 bucks. Now this one ultimately did get bought up on over time, but at the same time, I would be very cautious right here, because if this 200 simple and 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hour do break, can I make an excuse for it right here? It honestly wouldn't be very wise to. 2850 would be the target based off of the measure move from this descending triangle going all the way back to our last high in January 14th, that is. And that measure move does actually point down directly towards about 28.5 region. Fair enough. Okay, let's see. Does that line up with anything else on any other time frames? I'd like to just double check myself. Let's see, what about the daily? Nope, not on the daily. I believe the 2-day perhaps. Yes, indeed. Okay, 2-day 21 down around there. And the 3-day 21 down around there, just below 28,000 bucks as it is right now. Remember, that one is closing today, so if it did come back down around there, probably is a nice little bouncy bounce play. But what I want to see is there anything obvious over here? I'm actually struggling to find something super obvious right now, and we do see, okay, here it is, 4-hour Trailing bands trending below the bottom side Trailing band as it is right now. If you do, as long as we're closing below this, I do look at this as trend in progress, and I suppose 28.5 would be my target, although it does seem a little bit, well, fair enough. I can't really backtrack on that, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. I guess as long as, yeah, we are trending below that, I would be looking for that 28,500 level to get hit. But I feel like there's something that I'm missing here. Let's see. Let's go down to the hourly. Hourly did have a nice little buyback on that, but already slinking over. Certainly not the picture of health and fitness right there. Yeah, not looking too good, actually. Let's see. What about the 4 hour? Do we see anything on 4 hour RSI? Hidden bearish divergence all the way down. Jesus Christ, that is nasty. What about the 12 hour right here? Just continuation. You still see momentum also is pointed to the downside right here as well. What about the daily? It's obviously going to be the downside here too. And again, that breakage of this multi-month long trend line, this 5-month long trend line, really doing its damage right here as we do see it come actually probably all the way down to the edge of the bearish control zone if I had to guess. So that would imply a little bit more further south. Where is that 55 at? Yeah, 28,500. Okay, so actually we do see on the daily as well. So daily 3-day, and yeah, I believe it was daily 3-day, and then maybe the 3-day on the Trollender band. Let's see. Yeah, that's way far down there. Actually, no, that would not would not count for it. So here's what I'd be thinking for Bitcoin is I'd actually be looking for a bounce first and foremost off this level, but do I think that it comes lower over time? Probably yes. I mean, coming back to this level is not strength by definition. But do I think that we bounce off this level first? Probably yes. Could it turn into an actual reversal? You know, what would be my conditions for that? I think the most obvious thing here would be the 618 retracement right around 3,700, or sorry, not 3,700, but 37,000. If Bitcoin does get back around there, well, then yes, I would be saying that this is a very obvious fake it and then target 40,000 plus, and it's going to look really fucking good. But as it stands right now, that is well, very far away. We'll put it that way. Very far away. So with that said, I think I'll cut this video off there to kind of wrap up my thoughts on Bitcoin. Short-term bounce probably bounces maybe even all the way back up to like 33.5, maybe even 34,000 bucks. However, it's kind of hard to ignore some of the medium and higher time frames right now. So I probably ultimately would be looking a little bit further south just based off that. And I'd also look for Mr. Beetle to give a little bit of the direction as well, seeing as it was the prior leader. So with that said, I think we'll be signing off right here. I salute you, take care, and until next time.